Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Nihongo Master podcast. I'm your host Azra, and if you haven't been tuning in since the start of the season, let me reintroduce the theme. It's Japanese summer. Now this season is extra special to me, because this will be my last season on the podcast as your host. For our OG listeners, we've come a long way, 13 seasons. Oh god, anyway, I forgot to introduce today's topic. Today we'll zoom into Japan's biggest summer festival, and that's Obon. Our OG listeners have already heard about this one in our very first episode of the podcast. We'll expand on it a bit more today. I'll be introducing the background, practices, and traditions, and talking about some of the key festival language. Keep your ears tuned for some useful and interesting related vocabulary as we go along. But before we get into it, I have a treat for you listeners. If you don't already know, Nihongo Master is an interactive online Japanese language learning system where we provide Japanese lessons in a fun and easy manga-style way. The podcast has a special, unique 50% off promo code for your entire subscription of a program that I'll drop sometime in the next few minutes, so keep your ears tuned for that. The Japanese love a good matsuri, which is Japanese for festivals. There's always something going on every month, whether it's a wild dancing celebration or a time of paying somber respects. Japanese matsuri religiously follow the seasons and all their natural changes. Nature is basically the root of Japanese traditions. Speaking of religion, that's also another key aspect. In Japan, Shinto and Buddhism are the two most popularly practiced ones, and a large number of people even consider themselves to be a part of both. Japanese festivals are, more often than not, a Buddhist or Shinto event. Today we'll be talking about Obon, a Japanese summer festival. As previously mentioned, religion is a key aspect in these matsuris. Obon falls under Buddhist practices. This iconic matsuri takes place from August 13th to August 16th every year. It's this time of the year where every area of Japan turns tranquil. This Japanese summer festival is all about family, reflecting on one's family roots, while welcoming back the ancestor spirits to the world of the living. In that sense, being a time when spirits walk the streets, Obon is a little like Halloween, but that's as far as the similarities go. Plenty of old Japanese ghost stories are set during this time of the year. If you want to hear some spooky Japanese ghost stories, check out our Halloween special episode, Season 1, Episode 12, for a story sesh of 3 to 4 top ones. But anyway, Obon is a much more solemn affair overall. In both Chinese and Japanese culture, ancestor worship is a pretty big deal. Although this is one of the most significant Japanese Buddhist matsuri nationwide, it's not a public holiday. However, most companies and shops do close down for the event. Obon starts off with the practice of mukaebi, lighting welcoming fires on the doorstep to guide the returning spirits home on the first day of the festival. If welcoming the ghosts of your in-laws into your home sounds like a total nightmare, don't worry, they're just back to chill for a few days, then they'll be on their way. Another early Obon tradition for Japanese families is ohakamaeri, the custom of visiting their family graves. Most of the time, they will clean them up, kind of like an annual ritual, as well as pray for their departed loved ones' peaceful rest in the afterlife. Part of the early preparation is decorating the altars dedicated to family members with tablets, flowers, fruits, and even wagashi, which is what you call traditional Japanese sweets. This is done to offer them some of the things that they enjoyed during their time on earth. Some families even offer a can of Sapporo beer. One extra tradition which you only really see people in the countryside getting involved in is preparing figurines of horses using cucumbers and cows using eggplants, both with wooden sticks for legs. This is to symbolize that the horse will assist the spirits in returning home quickly, while the cow will take them back to heaven slowly. Now we only just covered the first day of Obon, but before we continue any further, here's a quick vocab recap. Matsuri, festival. Mukaebi, lighting welcome fires on doorsteps. Ohakamaeri, the custom of visiting family graves. Wagashi, traditional Japanese sweets. By the way, if you haven't checked out our official website yet, why not give it a browse? At Nihongo Master, we offer efficient Japanese lessons that are quick, easy, and fun for Japanese language learners of all levels, from beginners to advanced. Our smart tools will assist you in areas where you need a little bit of a push and congratulate you on the ones you've aced. With a community of over 50,000 Japanese students, you're not alone on your learning journey. Make new friends and improve together with our point system, collecting points as you go along. Ask away any questions you have on our group discussion pages. There's sure to be others as well as our Japanese instructors that are quick to answer. You can also take Nihongo Master with you on the go and learn Japanese as you trot the globe. Practical, right? Plug in our podcast exclusive code for this season, Japan Summer, JAPANSUMMER, for 50% off your entire subscription for as long as you're with us. You'll be able to learn Japanese at any time of the day, anywhere in the world, for just $10 a month. Continuing our rundown of the events that happened during Obon, we'll take a look at day 2, 3, and 4. The second and third days are for Kuyo, the Japanese word for a tradition of holding a memorial service for the dead. Families who follow the tradition might invite a Buddhist priest to their homes for the service. If not, a visit to a temple or shrine does the trick as well. After a prayer recital, family members have lunch together while telling stories of the dearly departed. It's no ordinary lunch though. It's traditionally in the style of Shojin Ryori, a fully vegetarian cuisine developed in the temples of Japan. On Obon, the meal usually has stewed beans, spinach with soy sauce and sesame, and pickled cucumbers. Now concluding the Obon festival, the fourth and final day is when the Okuribi, a ceremonial bonfire to see off the spirits, takes place. Sometimes it's not just a bonfire. In some areas of Japan, the Japanese will also organize bon odori dances that were originally performed for the deceased, but now has become a symbol of summer festivals in general. The Bon dance has over 600 years of history and is a kind of folk entertainment. Another final day tradition is the practice of writing messages on paper lanterns and floating them away on rivers and the sea to guide the spirits off. The image of lit up lanterns on water has become an iconic one for this summer festival. After that, you can comfortably let loose in your own home again without worrying that your great-great-grandma is judging you from beyond the pale. Now, Obon is one of the few Japanese festivals that are less about entertainment and more about quality time with family. Regardless of how busy one's schedule is, this Japanese summer matsuri brings the people back to their hometowns and with people they hold dear. Now, on to a quick vocab recap. Kuyo, a tradition of holding a memorial for the dead. Shojin Ryori, a fully vegetarian cuisine developed in temples of Japan. Okuribi, ceremonial bonfire. Bon odori, dances performed for the deceased, but is now a symbol of summer festivals. So, aren't the events that happened during Obon proof that this is one of the biggest festivals in Japan? Will you plan your trip to Japan during this time of the year so you can witness this spectacular cultural practice? Tell us your thoughts by commenting on our social media platforms. You can find us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, head over to the Nihongo Master blog if you're interested in reading up on topics like these some more. And if you're keen on picking up some more Japanese for yourself, pop onto our official website, nihongomaster.com, to learn more. While you're at it, why not get yourself a subscription? Get a head start on your Nihongo journey with Nihongo Master. Now, if you missed the promo code earlier on, we'll say it again now. Plug in Japan Summer, JAPANSUMMER, at checkout to get 50% off your subscription forever. Yep, your monthly or yearly subscription is half off using this podcast exclusive code. So go on, sign up now. And thank you so much for listening in. Join me in the next one, where I'll be walking you down the avenue of Japan's rich culture. Also, you can find me on my Instagram handle, Azra Shakira, AZRASYAKIRAH. Mata ne!